I went and found out how many enemy variations there are.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
In total, this game has almost 150.
Wow, full game.
Almost 150. If I can put that into context, FBC Firebreak has 5.
You're not. I know that was one of its problems because it did only have 5, and one of them was a pack of post-it notes.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. You well?
Yes, I'm well. I'm also absolutely engrossed. And I'm 2 years too late.
Engrossed in this game or engrossed in something else?
It's not this game, no. It's Alan Wake 2. Have you...
Have I heard of it?
You've heard of Alan Wake 2.
I've never heard of that. What's an Alan Wake? No, yes, of course I've heard of it. And yeah, I know that's a U game right down your avenue, right?
I'm balls deep in Alan Wake 2 and I could not... I'm so...
Wow.
It's incredible. It really is.
That's an expression there. That's a nice opener. Balls deep in Alan Wake. Right? That's
it's very unfortunate the game is also the name of a man.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. And 2, so it's not just you there. It's I'm in balls deep in Alan Wake 2.
Well, I mean, earlier this year, for the first time, I played and completed the first Alan Wake. The remastered version, and it was good. I was not expecting this game from the PS3 360 era to end.
Is it really that long ago?
Yes.
I didn't know. Damn, yes. I didn't know it was that. Yeah,
this was a 360 game.
Wow, that's crazy.
I was not expecting a game like this to end so ambiguously. Usually, games from that era just kind of you save the day and it ends.
And sometimes you get like a last cutscene of just a shadow disappearing, and you know that's the next bad guy, right, for the next game.
Yes.
Yeah, not an Alan Wake. No.
Not Alan Wake. No, that's not. I'm not gonna say how it ended, but it ended ambiguously. And then I played Control and the Control DLC, and I just I needed more.
He's fallen for it. He's in the Remedy-verse. He's deep.
How deep?
Balls deep. It seems to be the only depth you seem to go. It would seem. Well, that's an excellent segue. Today's game, no?
Yeah, today's game. Dave, what do we play this week?
Well, this game is obviously a very big fan favorite. Everybody loves it. Everybody's, I guess everybody our age-ish has either played it or knows of it. It is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Regarded as one of the best, if not the best Castlevania game, right? Like,
I think most people would say that this is the best one.
It's because it kind of rebranded and redid and reignited the Castlevania thing, right? Because it was, it was the one that everybody thought, whoa, this is a big change, but this is awesome, right? And then it sparked all the other the Castlevanias. And
this was akin to their Breath of the Wild moment, their Assassin's Creed 2 moment, which most people have forgotten about because this was in the 90s.
Yeah, 97. A lot of people listening to this right now weren't even alive.
I was.
How old were you? Like 1?
4.
How old were you? 4. Yeah. Damn, I was 10. I was actually looking. I was probably looking at this in the shelves. It was on the shelves in my game stores. Sadly, I didn't pick it up because it's worth quite a lot now.
I think this game, this is the one that's garnered such a cult status, such a following that since 1997, it's only grew in the number of fans. So much so that it's got an entire genre named after it.
Yeah, and a Netflix series and stuff, right?
Yes.
Right? So I know it's I know, again, not one that I picked up because it's not really my thing. But I've known about Castlevanias all my life, and the Netflix series ain't too bad either.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is the one that put it on the map, because all the Castlevanias before this they were also quite big and popular.
Yeah. I strangely enough.
Yes?
Sorry, go on. You were saying?
No. I was going to go into another thought.
I was surprised to find out this is a sequel to another one, which is kind of interesting, right? Am I right?
Yeah. What was the first one called?
This is the one that I looked this up, and I felt like a fool because I was like, okay, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. What's the first one called? Or the Castlevania Rondo of Blood. And I was like, what the hell's a rondo? What kind of word is that? A rondo? Is that a place?
That's a
so
dance.
Then I was like, oh, what kind of nutty thing is that? And then, of course, I looked it up, and it's musical. It's musical in aspect, right? It's in regards
Correct.
to like a symphony is a... how do you define a symphony?
A symphony.
Go on.
There is a big official definition, but a symphony
sure.
can quite easily just be categorized as a big old musical work consisting of 3 acts played by a symphonic orchestra. Consisting
and
of
a rondo?
woodwinds, brass, strings.
Yeah. Okay.
And a rondo.
Yeah, what's a rondo?
You know what? I used to know, I don't anymore.
It's all some of that knowledge that just slips out your brain, right? You get all that learning in, but then it just goes,
I know rondo is also a dance. Much like the waltz and the jig, the rondo forms part of a suite that you can...
Okay.
Oh, it's been so long, goodness.
Yeah, okay. Well,
but a rondo of blood can mean a lot of things.
Yes,
like a
yes,
dance
it's more
with
poetic, right? Like,
exactly, a dance with the vampire trying to suck your blood. Blood.
No, okay, I get it. That actually makes sense. A dance with the vampire, by all accounts.
Yeah.
So this game was released in 1997, published and developed by a little company. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, Konami, which I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of at this point by now, right?
Doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
Do you know they've released? I couldn't believe this. 1,300 games since 1969.
What? No, that's
I know.
not.
69 was funny, but supposedly, granted, this I'll own up. This source was Wikipedia, but supposedly 1,300 games. I forgot they did Dance Dance Revolution, Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Wipeout, the like sci-fi racing game?
No, I think I played the demo once.
That was kind of big. There's a few of those. They even did
Konami as well.
Pro Evo Soccer, football. Sorry, from where I'm from.
Okay,
so I forgot how many titles they actually own and make, by all accounts.
They made a lot of games that kind of rehash the same gameplay mechanic annually, right? Every year there's a new Pro Evolution Soccer, a new Dance Dance Revolution. I mean, I think every year's got 2 Yu-Gi-Oh games, or used to at some point.
I would say, at one point with the Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh games and the DS, they were coming out all the time. No, you're right.
And we'd eat it up.
Yeah, so Konami, they kind of know what they're doing. They've been releasing games. I couldn't believe, granted, maybe 1,300 is just Wikipedia lore. That might not be... I was like, damn, that's a lot of games.
That feels
like... a big boy.
Yes. Although Konami is one of the big boy publishers.
I would say it must be now, right? It's got to be... I swear it's Silent Hill, right? So Silent Hill... What's the latest one coming out?
Metal Gear...
Yeah, we got 3 remade. I know, they're the biggies. But did you know, I was looking at Symphony of the Night, initially actually sold really poorly. Right?
Really?
Its initial sales when it released, it was, didn't hit expectations.
No way!
No. But then, as they actually got saved by word of mouth. People bought it and were like, play this game. And it slowly, and it divided, it got like a cult following. And then out of nowhere, it sold 700,000 units in the US and Japan.
Nice. You see,
and now
this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't a good game.
Yeah, that's right. And it's weird because now this game is on a lot of like, say top 20, top 10 games of, you must own or must play games of all time by all accounts. And it's crazy. It could have just slipped and gone into mediocrity and just never been picked up by people.
Yeah. But you know what? That two things that's reminding me of. One, that must have happened to some other games that are really good that slipped into mediocrity.
Yeah, it's sad, right? They're out there. There are those games that could be amazing, but just didn't come out in time.
And it could happen today. Maybe today there's some mediocre game that people just brush off. Who knows? In 20 years' time, we might be seeing a best of PS5 list, and high on that list could be Suicide Squad.
If we live in a world where that's high on that list, I'm not sure if I want to be in that world anymore. Give me another universe.
Concord.
Yeah, all of a sudden they just get redone and they're the best games ever. I agree. There's a very, with all the oversaturated market, I bet you there has to be good games out there that are just not being, people aren't picking up, people aren't talking about, streamers and influencers aren't playing.
Absolutely.
Because it's happened the other way around, hasn't it? Be it Schedule 1 or...
Yes, or have you seen what's recently exploding? Ready or Not?
Oh, I've heard of that, but...
Ready or Not, it sold 2 million copies in 2 weeks.
But that's got a big problem with...
Yes, a big problem with censorship, I think.
There we go, that's the word I was looking for, you were going to say.
Yes, that aside, that I
it's
don't
supposed to be
like,
a very good
that's
game,
disgusting, that's gross.
Yeah.
I spit on that. What I'm referencing towards is Ready or Not's been out for 2 years.
Has it really?
Yes, it's been out for 2 years, and now all of a sudden, much like Among Us, streamers picked it up, and people saw this game slipping into mediocrity. Wait a minute, this game's super cool. I want this.
That's crazy.
And it sold 2 million copies in 2 weeks.
I did not know that. That is absolutely crazy. The power of the internet's kind of crazy sometimes, right? The idea
that's
that
exactly
just
what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and the same with Inscription and that game where you just play Russian roulette but with shotguns. I can't remember what that game's called.
Yes.
It's quite popular. One. I can't remember the name. But that was all due to like those were good games that could have gone under the radar and gone into mediocrity because the next Metal Gear Solid was coming out or the next Dark Souls claim was coming out. No, it's a weird gaming world out there right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we go into narrative then?
Let's. I think the narrative for Symphony of the Night isn't as initially if you just take it at surface level, it's not as deep as one might like it to be.
Agreed.
With these types of games, what I've realized is it can be as deep as you like it to be. You can find allegory everywhere if you're looking for it.
Yeah, it's true. I agree. I must admit, I've watched the Castlevania series on Netflix, and I'm so confused now because I don't know where they fit in the lore. Because I know one of them does have Richter Belmont, the big Rick the Belmont vampire hunting guy.
Yeah.
And I know Alucard is in it, and I can't remember if the woman, I forget her name.
Maria,
I can't remember if it's the same thing. And granted, like you were saying, in this game, it's fundamentally simple. Dracula's back, his castle reappeared. Not too many spoilers, but something happens to Richter, and Alucard wakes up again to help get rid of evil, right? That's fundamentally the story. There's a bit up and downs, but that's about it.
But that's the setup. That's mainly the setup. And within the first 10 minutes of Alucard arriving in the castle, he meets up with Death. And Death takes all of his power-ups. Alucard, the moment you start the game, Alucard's OP. He's OP as hell.
He is.
And Death said, not a chance.
I actually played thinking, oh, this game's easier than I thought. Because, you start off, huge wolf in front of you, and then you one-tap it. And then another huge wolf and you one-tap it. And I'm thinking, oh, okay.
Easy.
This game's easier than I thought it was going to be. That I could actually play this game. It was simple. And then, Death comes and just tells you, it's not going to work that way. And so he takes all your cool stuff. And then you're just down with your fists.
Yeah, and instead of just telling you this happened, the game shows you. Which
right, it is actually very, it does.
That is points for visuals as well. But there's this cutscene that happens, and I really like that it's part of the narrative that Alucard, which is Dracula's son, it absolutely makes sense that he's OP as hell.
Yeah, no doubt.
But they explained it in the narrative why he's starting at level 1. Why
it's
you're
it's not the whole amnesia
footing.
thing or stuff like that.
No,
right? It's not just the normal, like, you're level 1 now. No, that bit was very cool. You haven't actually, you always generally do this. What's the special thing about Alucard, his name?
Oh,
this is all, I swear this is a bit of lore you always give.
This used to be special in the 90s, I think. Now... What?
Is people obvious? Is it too obvious?
It's Dracula backwards.
Whoa! That's crazy. It's like Neo being 1 in the Matrix. Like, whoa, you can rearrange those letters and it makes 1. Because, it's... I think 80s and 90s stuff has a ton of that in it, and it still makes me smile when you see it. But I know. I know those types of things.
I know. But
and I
think
laughed
that's
that one of the bad guys is called Shaft. just because my inner 12-year-old is there.
Yeah.
And you have to confront Shaft, and Shaft is speaking to you.
But and
there was like a 1980s
but I mean, wasn't it the same in the 60s or so when men who were called Richard were just called Dick?
It's still funny to me.
It is still funny, but
I don't even know where
changed. You can't call your son Dick. You can't call your son Shaft.
Kind of Shaft. Except for, do you know Shaft, the police guy? He's a cool shut your mouth. Do you know that? Am I just going too old for you?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I thought so. Samuel L. Jackson redid it in like the 2000s, I think. But he was a kind of a cool, suave black detective who sorted out the streets, and his name was Shaft. He had a song. Do you not know the Shaft song out of curiosity?
No, this is all going over my head.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm obviously in my 30s, but I've got the brain and the mind of a 50-year-old.
Could be.
It's by all accounts. If anyone is listening to this who is over that age, I hope you enjoy the old school reminiscing of going back in time.
The black cop called Shaft.
Okay, it sounds weird spoken back to me, but it is cooler than it sounds. I promise you, it's actually kind of cool.
Speaking of cool and suave, hot dang, Alucard he's just coolness.
He is actually. Even
he's got the rule of cool dripping from him.
Yeah, by all accounts. Even in his... How many bits is this? Is this 6? I can never really remember what PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 ran at. Yeah. But you're right. It's very strange that he is a very cool character. He's kind of sexy. Ooh. He's got...
Kind of?
Well, have you seen him in Netflix? Because in Netflix, he is really sexy.
I've not seen the Netflix show. I think after this, I will.
He aura farms in this game hard.
He aura farms a ton. He from minute 1 to minute end, he doesn't stop aura farming.
But it does make you, like I said, playing that character in any game is always, who doesn't want to be the badass who can just kill anything? Who doesn't want to be the Max Payne or the Kratos in games? Yeah. It just makes you feel good.
And I think that's what attracts a lot of people to Symphony of the Night. Instead of all the other Castlevania games where you're a vampire hunter, which is cool, you're a Van Helsing type player.
That's
in this one, you're not just a vampire hunter, you're the son of Dracula.
Right.
Your coolness personified, suave, slick. Your Alucard. There's something... A lot of people are making fun of the X Factor. I know it's the show. I know it's been said to death, but it feels like the character of Alucard has that X Factor.
He does, because he's kind of got that fun lore, hasn't he? Dracula fell in love with a normal human woman, right? And they had a child, and that's who Alucard is. And Alucard is choosing the human side of himself over the vampire side, which makes him kind of like the story that the human will overcomes all, and even his own instincts to drink blood. I don't think he drinks blood by law. I think he eats animals, but I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know either. But I like that him being this half vampire is the foil to Dracula's.
In these games, Dracula is angry because humans killed his wife. I think at least that's
is that
the narrative
what it is?
I know. His wife was a doctor. People thought she was a witch. They killed her, and then Dracula got really angry and will never let that rest. And that's why he comes back to kill
I'd be angry
humanity.
too.
I think. No, understandably. But Alucard, the whole narrative that my mother would never want this, and thus I have to put you down.
Yeah.
And this game has a good old Edmund Burke reference right at the end of it, which I'm sure you've heard, many people have heard before. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing, which is a very good quote, but it's used in so many movies and TV series now that it kind of gets overdone by all accounts.
It is such a great quote from something like this. It reminds me of one of the best quotes I've really ever heard, and that's just in the middle of the Street Fighter movie.
Oh God, that's a random. I'm gonna look forward to. It's the.
You know exactly what it is.
I do. It's
Bison saying for you it was.
That's right. Yeah.
For you, it was a world-shattering event, worst day of your life. I can't remember everything he said, right. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's a good line. That's excellent a good bad movie. If anyone's out there looking at movies, that's a good bad movie. It's so bad, but it's so great at the same time.
Go ham. So
and it's Addams Family. It's who's the main guy in Addams Family? The family head.
What do you mean? Fester.
Morticia and
Gomez.
Thank you. It's Gomez. It's Gomez from the Addams Family movies. It's M. Bison. So just a bit of
you're right.
down some facts there for you.
So, Symphony of the Night, much like loads of other good games, it begins in the middle of some previous climax, which I always like when games do this. The game starts, it splashes the title screen, hell yeah, this is Castlevania, and then 2 seconds later, wabam, you're at the end of another climax.
Yeah, right. I started the game thinking I hadn't gotten past the old games used to play a demo bit and stuff like that at the beginning because you didn't press start. I thought I was in that, but the whole scene. Granted, I know that you have to play Richter, but then that whole scene with Dracula, I was genuinely confused for a second, thinking, "Oh, did I miss something? Okay. Why are we taking on the big boss straight away?"
They're talking like I know these things,
right? Yeah, I was like, what? Is Dracula not... Okay, granted, like you were saying, that's such a cool bit to start.
It is, I like it. Another game that did this was Stellar Blade.
Oh, the big fight with everything falling around.
Yes, you've got these big
right?
spaceships, and then it's exploding all these little tiny spaceships that you explode out of. And then it's this big client. Anyway, I'm getting carried away with other things. I really like that the story takes a more personal and, I'd say, intriguing direction by focusing on Alucard instead of the Belmonts. Like I said earlier, they're great, but Alucard is just... There's just something else about being able to play Dracula's son.
Right, and he's fundamentally mortal. Aren't vampires immortal? Like, I never know. There's so many vampires out there. I think he's also.
I don't know what Castlevania's rules are when.
No, exactly. Do they shine in the sunlight? Are they allergic to garlic? Who knows? But yeah, I agree. There's something emotional, and it's the son versus father thing. It's Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader. It's always a great narrative just to play with, right? Because
it really is. It really is.
And again, Dracula can come back all the time, so Alucard can never get any rest because he has to.
Kratos versus Zeus.
Yeah, right. Or even Odin, depending on which ones you want to play. Oh no, is Zeus Kratos' father?
Yes.
In the God of War games, he is, right? Yeah, no, sorry, I forgot that for a second then. Okay, but like we're saying, narrative in these games aren't actually the key point. They're kind of just something for you to draw upon. This is more than just a few boss fights and to go face Dracula again. Fundamentally,
it is.
What did you think of visuals?
Oh, the visuals. Oh, you're moving on.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. Is there more you want to say about the story? Sorry.
No, I just think I don't know if they. I think that obviously they made this game intentional, but how intentional were they when they made just how cool the setting was going to be? Dracula's castle, your Dracula's son. Anyway, I feel like I said this before.
It oozes just that rich fantasy type feeling,
yes,
right?
It absolutely does. And I'm not over that. But you're right. Let's go on to visuals. I think the sprite work in this game is exceptional.
It's crazy how good. 1997, PlayStation 1.
Yes.
I was like, what the... why can't I remember PlayStation... I can remember Parappa the Rapper for PlayStation 1. That wasn't looking good. I remember Cool Borders, all these things not looking great. But this...
this looks good.
I remember this looking so... Why does this look so good in the PlayStation 1 engine? And this was... I've not played this game before, so it was completely brand new going into it. It does look really clean.
It looks really good. It looks really good. I mean, it's because this was at the end of the 2D era.
Yes, that's right.
When the 2D
started doing
when the 2D visuals
things.
were the main visuals, this was right before 3D. And when 3D was coming in with Metal Gear Solid, Ocarina of Time, that dumb PS1 Tarzan game, it didn't look the best, but it was three-dimensional.
Yeah, it was the big step. Yeah.
This was top of the line 2D work.
Right.
This was some exceptional.
It's so crazy that this could have just gone under the radar, because, it's so dripping with, again, like we said, narrative with that, just almost Phantom of the Opera, Dracula,
Gothic.
full moon. Van Helsing, like you said, it's just visually just comes across in like every single thing on that screen.
The word I think that we can center on is is a very gothic design.
Yes, yeah, of course.
Not as horror gothic as Bloodborne, I'd say, but fantasy gothic.
Yeah, no, like the old vampire stores, like the old Draculas or the old classic books themselves, right?
This looks. I can't see how this doesn't age super, super, super well, even for the next, 30 years.
No, agreed. No, and that's why it's been re-released, right? On the was it Requiem? It's the Rondo and Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation Network, I think. So you can actually get it for the newer generations because, like you said, these games will forever be cool. Even the people who only got the new software, where they still want to buy it and own it and play it again.
Wouldn't this look great if it looked like it was made? If it was remade in a HD 2D style, like the new Dragon Quest games or Octopath Traveler.
We've said that. We've discussed that point so many times because we want all the old games we used to play to be remade, so we can play them again.
I do. I do.
We do. And I agree. This game being remade would be awesome with like you said, the Octopath Traveler type engine type things. But again, I want that because I love these games. But I also get that in a market where if they just keep pumping those games out, we gotta get like really cool, good new games. But I do want all the old I want all my favorite games redone for me.
Yes, and new games, please, and new games.
Yes, I want everything. I want all.
Everything. I want Final Fantasy VI to get the same treatment the Final Fantasy VII remake got.
That would be great. I just don't think it would ever happen.
No, I don't think so either.
But then again, the sprite work and everything's so cool in that though as well. Like, you can't win to some degree.
No. Anyway,
one thing granted, in playing this game, I was confused. I had another one of my blonde moments, for lack of a better term. You know those sequences in the game where you go into just a hallway, and it's kind of like just a hallway to go to the next part of the castle?
Yeah.
Right? It's just a balcony, or it's the top of the castle, right? There was a bit where it said CD and then a disc like shape, like a round shape underneath it, and I was sitting there thinking, why does it say CD? And I was like, of course, I'm trying to read into it. Did this come out on Dreamcast? Did this come out with a CD based? You know, I know it's on a disc and stuff like that. And then I realized it's Count Dracula. It's just the initials of Count Dracula. I was trying to read into that so much. Like, what the? Why is there CD? What's that mean?
I didn't even clock that either.
Yeah, I was
of course it's Count Dracula.
Yeah, of course it is. But yeah, there's lots of little things. Everything in this, again, even the bad guys. There was so. Every time you went to a new area, you had a whole new bunch of bad guys, and it's not just like
exactly. The area's different, the music's different, right. But you're right. The enemy designs are so
it's crazy
varied.
How many
so varied, and each one of them are imaginative and iconic.
Yeah, it's like back in the day, it always used to be a blue skeleton, and then the next area, a green one that had a little bit more health, and then the last area, a red one that had really more health.
Skeleton! Oh, no!
There's like Golden Axe is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of those types of things.
Yeah. For me, it's ghosts and goblins.
Yeah, no.
Or is it ghouls and goblins? I can't remember.
But the bad guys in this, every single time you went to a new area, it was an unexpected thing to overcome. Be it a skeleton, a big thing, a big swirling sword ball that was a pain in my ass.
Yes.
Books coming off the shelves. Tables.
You know what? I actually went and looked. I went and found out how many enemy variations there are.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
In total, this game has almost 150.
Wow, full game.
Almost 150. If I can put that into context, FBC Firebreak has 5.
You know, I know that was one of its problems because it did only have 5, and one of them was a pack of post-it notes.
Yes, 150.
Nah, again, it's one of those things where you saw it's a love.
1997.
Because there were even little things that would just come alive.
Yes.
Be it, you know, we had the Medusa heads flying around, and then you had these little green little buggers that you couldn't quite hit because they were so small.
Yeah.
And
you had candelabras just flinging candles.
That's right. And there was this big green croc thing with then a woman as a tail, which I actually thought was a boss fight when I first came across it. Thinking, okay, this makes just a normal bad guy, just another thing for you to get through.
That's the other thing. Some of these are classic monsters. Easy.
Yes.
Skeleton. Yeah. Nice. Right, classic. Good. Everyone knows. And then there are these surreal abominations.
Yeah. It got to the point where if there were statues, you're like, okay, do I get close? Because anything on that statue could actually come alive, throw at you.
It could be the statue. It could be just the foot.
Yeah, right? It was... Which in a game in 1997, I know it sounds like we're just like brown-nosing, like, oh, this is so great. But it is.
I don't care. I'll brown-nose the hell out of this game.
There were even marionettes, which were also a pain in the ass because they were on every single level and kept getting it. It was so layered. And again, like I said, every single area just had something different. Every single time. It didn't matter. You weren't going to bump into the same skeleton twice. Until you went backtracked, obviously, which is a thing you do in this game. But that was just that's so cool. Just the bad guys not knowing. And of course, every bad guy have a different way to really handle it. Be it attacks high, low, using magic, be it whichever ones you've got equipped at the time.
Yeah.
It just
or you need to jump over them, or you need to confuse them, or they come back to life. There's interesting mechanics for all of the different enemy types.
No, exactly.
Or most of them, at least.
Again, that's, like I say, we're kind of teetering into gameplay, but everything looks cool. Yeah, strangely enough, this game reminded me a little bit of Dark Souls, because the bad guys dropped weapons. You got leather shields. You kind of got equipment as you went along. Yeah. You picked up different magic, which you could play out, but if it didn't really suit your play style, you got a different type of magic. It was, I know a game that's so in depth, but it also looked super cool. Like I used that one, kind of like bounces a coin around the room, for lack of a better term, like just pinballs around. And that was a cool one. I like the weird little key blasts you could shoot in the air that would swirl and kind of home in on people.
Yeah.
Again, finding the magic was a lot of fun because you were like, oh crap, what's this one do? Or what's this one do? Or can I turn into a wolf? Or can I turn into a bat? And
yeah.
Visually, this game was a playground. It's crazy how good it was.
I agree. And it came at the tail end of the 2D era, which just, people were so salted on how to make a game look good in art styles like these.
Yes. But did you also, maybe I'm just pulling strings here, a lot of the magic you could do in this game is also the same kind of magic you can do in Vampire Survivors. Have you played Vampire Survivors? I can't remember.
I played a bit of Vampire Survivors.
Like
Yeah,
go on. Sorry.
No, when you mentioned this coin flipping around, I immediately thought of Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, and the Bible thing and the axes. I know they probably inspired the game. And I also thought, later in this game, kind of narratively and visually, the castle gets turned upside down. And then you redo the castle from an upside down perspective.
I have something to say about, but continue.
Which I thought was the inspiration for Elden Ring. Is it Elden Ring where you... Is it Elden Ring where there's somewhere where you put the two medallions together and it turns some sort of building upside down? Am I making that up?
Yes, that's true. There's some tower with the fingers on. I never did it, but it's there.
But you don't have to go back into that tower, but it's now all upside down, right? And I just thought maybe that was the inspiration of it. Because, again, it's not really something you bump into too many times in gaming. And in this game, again, just like Elden Ring in its own right, it brings a whole new atmosphere, a whole new situation. Roofs are now floors and everything like that. Now everything looks different. Areas are now accessible that weren't accessible before. Visually, it just turns everything up again to another oh, crap. Oh, that's cool. And now spikes are above you instead of beneath you and all that other delightful stuff.
I might be pissing off some people by saying this.
Go on.
I do think, though, that the inverted castle, when they flip the entire thing...
Yeah.
Don't you think that's a little bit of a shortcut?
In today's world, but the 1997?
But okay, maybe not in 1997, but doesn't that feel like it's just they took the first half of the game, flipped it upside down as, I don't want to say the word lazy, but to reuse assets?
Well, to some degree, but if you play it upside down, a lot of the puzzles change too, which they worked into the whole thing. A lot of the, later on in the game, you can turn into a wolf and bats and mist and all this other things, right? Some of those puzzles only unlock when it's upside down because it was visually designed that way when it was the right way up as well. So when you're upside down, some areas are only accessible that you couldn't access beforehand because it's now upside down. I'd agree if it was just upside down and you ran from left to right, but they put in quite a lot of adaptation and stuff like that in regards to the actual platforming and the gameplay as well. It's kind of, I would say it's a bit more deeper than that. But I do get what you mean. Just turning assets upside down and then just like flipping your screen upside down and then just playing that way, I kind of get
that is what it feels like, but not the case. That's not the case, you mean. That was
I would argue it's not the case, yeah.
That was a game design choice from the very start, that by the midpoint, they're going to be flipping the map.
Yes.
And they took that into consideration when they designed the game.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
If that's the case, which it now sounds like it is, then that's a commendable achievement.
That's no doubt. That's a good way of putting it. I would say that's commendable too. Everything else, anything else visually you want to add?
No, that's good for visuals.
Okay, because you're excited to talk about the audio, right? Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, if I feel excited to talk about the audio, you have to be excited to talk about the audio. Because you actually understand it far more than I do.
You know what? It really isn't much deeper than just the soundtrack is good. I could start by the soundtrack is good. We could have this big analysis of the Castlevania soundtrack, and then we'll just end by saying,
It's
yes,
good.
the soundtrack is good.
But it's so hard.
But I wouldn't even say it's
go on.
good. It definitely falls into the camp of legendary. I might be butchering her name, but the composer for this is it Michiru Yamane?
That's how I'd say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
We could be wrong, but yeah, that's
somehow she made this legendary soundtrack, mixing classical music, of course, but also rock and ambient tracks.
That first track when you're just playing as Richter, I was like, what the hell? This is a great start. This music is going hard. I loved it.
Yeah. No, there were definitely some absolute rock hits in this. I liked it.
But did you read that she was actually at university where she fell in love with it, learned to write large orchestral pieces, which I can only imagine is harder than other pieces. And a big inspiration for some of the music in this game was it Johann Sebastian Bach, which and she gamed on the side when she was doing her thesis. She played games at the same time, and that was some of her inspiration when making this soundtrack. It was that little university period where she was playing games and listening to Bach, and they kind of blended in to make this soundtrack for this gothic game that we now have. Right? Isn't that such a lovely little story?
It makes so much sense because Johann Sebastian Bach was the one who developed the musical system as we're still using it today.
Oh, really? It's still like an underlining system used in just orchestral pieces or just in music as a whole?
No, I'm talking about how we understand music with the staves, tonality, with... oh, man, he wrote this book. What was it? Where he wrote songs or tunes for each and every single... I'm going to get the name of this book.
I think I've heard of the thing you're talking about, though. Yeah, I do think... Again, Johann Sebastian Bach's kind of famous world round. If I know him, then tons of people know him. He's prolific, by all accounts, in music history, right? What's the book?
Johann Sebastian Bach. I'm not finding this book, but anyway.
Much reading.
Yeah. So what also happened was in the Baroque era, which is the era where Johann Sebastian Bach dominated.
Nice.
They didn't have the piano.
Yeah.
They didn't have the piano. The piano was only invented much later on.
Okay, so was it like the harpsichord or the organ? Was there nothing like that?
The clavichord.
Ooh, that sounds like you combined a bone and a harpsichord. A clavichord is a simplistic version of it, I'm guessing. It normally is, or not.
It's also much like the harpsichord. And now that you mention it, I think it's more harpsichord than clavichord. But yes, so you use the harpsichord in a lot of these tracks, and I wrote one down here. Here we go. The wood carving partition uses a real clavichord.
Ooh, okay. I'm
good tune. But it's not just that one. It's all the different tracks. They use some real musical influence of the time and setting. Like I just said,
cool, right? Yeah.
The wood carving partition uses a clavichord in the tracks. The Dance of Pails, which is what one of the tracks that played in an area in the game, is a real waltz.
See, that's cool. I love that because it adds history and depth and
yes.
And in theory, you're kind of learning, right? You're playing a Castlevania game, so you can kind of know what time of the era in humanity that kind of is, and then the music matches it. So then you kind of go, well, that's the kind of music for that era, then, right? Because it hits the same notes that Bach and all the others put into their music.
And
that's so cool. I love
it. Also provides layers to the soundtrack. Yeah. The soundtrack by Michiru has some definite layers in them by using the instruments of the era of the setting and also dances. I mean, It's even called Dance of Pails.
But there you go. Yeah, exactly. But it's also crazy to think that this is all on a single CD. This was a PlayStation 1 era, so that was all compressed and potentially synthesized slightly, I can only imagine.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure I'm not sure how the PlayStation 1 sound card works.
Nor did I. That's above.
I know it's more than just MIDI.
Okay, it makes sense. That was kind of a big jump in just gaming as a whole, right? It was a large jump over to a new the compact disc compared to the cartridges and stuff that we had before.
What is the question you asked?
I was just shocked that they could fit all this great music that was on the the game itself, the music, the everything like that, and it still came across so grandiose and loud and just atmospheric and stuff like that.
Classical.
Right?
So there's some rock in there. My favorite track, probably the grooviest of them all, has to be the Marble Gallery.
What?
Hell yeah!
I can't remember that.
Oh, hell yeah!
There were lots of places.
If you hear it, you'll realize, oh, nice. Oh, it's this one. I like this one.
But it is one of those soundtracks that you just want to look on Spotify, right? Even if you want to do your cleaning or do your dishes, whack it on Spotify, listen to the music because it's just good music. That's it.
It is good music.
Nothing else said.
I can absolutely do the dishes or study with these songs on.
What wasn't good was the voice acting.
Oh no!
I will give you, this game has voice acting. Again, a shocker.
Yes.
I was expecting just text, you're gonna read it, it's gonna be a thing. But the scenes, well, limited with what they are, were voice acted. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. That's shocking. The voice acting was horrible.
No, it wasn't. Ladies and gents, don't believe Dave, the voice acting wasn't. Okay. I'll give you, it's notably stiff. Okay.
Okay. Let me just point out.
But in the best way possible.
Okay, the first time you meet Maria in the cutscene, she says, and I quote, "What do you hear?" Not hear as in your to hear a sound. Is what do you hear as in this location? She goes, "What do you hear?"
No, that's just the dialect.
And I'm like, what?
That's just the Transylvanian dialect.
Oh, yeah, it's the accent and the dialect. It's the time. It's old worldy. It's like oldie shopper or shopping.
Okay. I'll raise you. Is that voice acting or is that localization?
It's possibly the localization. I'll give you. But there has to be the lady voice actress who's had that there. And she didn't go, but this sentence doesn't make sense. She just went, "What do you hear?" And like, there you go, I'm getting paid. I think it's, "What are you doing here?" Because it's kind of where they first meet. They're in the castle. It would be a good question. Like, either "What are you doing here?"
What are you doing
or "What do you do here?" Like, if he's I don't know what she wanted to say. But yeah, and the other thing is, yes, it's incredibly stiff. The acting is incredibly stiff.
Okay. Then the localization might not be the best. The voice acting's a bit stiff, but I'm going to argue that the voice acting, there's a point where it used to be bad, but now it's gone full circle.
Oh, you're thinking like Metal Gear Solid bad, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It's gone full circle where it used to be bad, and then it's circled around bad, and now it's back. Now it's back. It's not bad. It's incredibly. It's endearing.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. It is endearing, and it is silly, and I love that. Like Alucard will say, "Well, that's my business," and then she'll be like, "Oh,
so cool.
Not the talkative type." Ooh.
Hell yeah, Alucard, have my babies. That's so cool.
Yeah, his aura farming of being the stoic.
He's gonna say, "Oh,
yeah,
that's my business," and then he puts on sunglasses, walks away, doesn't look back.
With his long hair and his quick step movements that he does.
My favorite is Dracula saying, "What is a man but a pile of secrets?"
Yeah, there were so many people quoting like every man at least once a day thinks, "What is a man?" It's deep. Dracula's knocking out, right? Yeah, but
hell yeah, it's gone full circle. I like it. I'll eat it up. It's good.
It is cheesy endearing now. It's still not as good as Metal Gear Solid stuff, though. Metal Gear Solid stuff is amazing. It's so bad, it's great. I love that series.
They even say in Metal Gear Solid, "You like Castlevania, don't you?"
Yeah, right. Like I said, ladies and gents, if you want some good voice acting, which is good bad, go to the original Metal Gear Solids. Some of the middle and the between ones, it's all about the memes and but they're so good. It's so crazy.
It's like a big sloppy tasty hamburger.
Oh, it is. They're the best cutscenes you can get. They're fantastic. Anything else audio you want to talk about?
No, we can move on to gameplay.
1,847 rooms. Did you know that? This game has 1,847 rooms.
Oh,
did you know that? And to get the true ending, you've got to go through all of them. Like to get the good ending, right?
Whoa, say that number again, 1,000?
847. Now, I don't know if they include those little branching rooms that don't really do anything. But there's secret rooms. Do you know there were rooms in here that there's no way you could have worked out yourself. Because one of them, the secret room, is to go into a room and stand in the corner for like 25 seconds. There's nothing else that tells you this. There's no like hidden floor or rocks or some kind of arrow or something. You're just supposed to do that, and then a little lift takes you down and you find some good loot.
Damn.
There's no way that you're ever going to work that out.
How?
And
was that intentional? Was that not just a mistake?
No, it was intentional. But I was playing this game thinking, this game doesn't hold your hand, does it? Like you're playing with it, and all of a sudden you got equipping mechanics, and you got hearts, and you got all these other things that you got to work out. And I think, why is this not? I don't know what's going on. Then I realised it's because these games came with manuals. Right? Remember back in the day, you would actually read the manual, and it would tell you the hearts help you do this, and that's the mana gauge.
Yes. You would read the manual before playing the game.
It was an era where reading the manual was kind of key to playing the game properly. And I missed that. I missed the nostalgia. Yeah, I had a nostalgia wave. Like, I miss manuals. Because you did in the car, right? You bought a game, and as a kid in the car, you opened the game up and you read the manual in the car on the way home before you played it. At least that's how I used to do it.
Or you'd sit in front of the television, and on the carpet next to you, or in front of you, opened up, would be the manual, just sitting for you to consult when you'd be stuck.
Right? Or and I'm not sure if you're this age, some manuals had little puzzles in for the password to play the game.
What?
No,
I didn't have
you're not that old. There was one game, and it's the most obscure game. It was an Olympic sports simulating type game, right?
Okay.
And it had a tri-disc cryptograph. You had to turn. I kid you not. You had to turn it so you would align, because the game would start up and it would just say 349, and you'd have to take the back one and rotate it 3 times, and then the middle one 4 times, and the other one 9 times, and then you'd get like Brazil, a number, and bobsleigh, and that was your password to start the game. It wasn't the password to save. That was literally, you could not play the game unless you did the cryptograph.
Whoa!
Sorry, a weird flashback from a long time ago of manuals and weird password things that you used to get to open them. But yeah, this game, you need, like, it took me a long time to realise what the hearts were for, because it wasn't your HP. Your HP was the gauge on the left, and you were collecting all these hearts in the candelabras.
The hearts were
like
for special attacks.
Yes, I didn't know that. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I thought that's what the MP gauge was for, but it took me a while to realise there were special attacks. I must admit. Again, it's just the engineering of the game is so kind of weirdly in depth, right? It's layers upon layers of mechanics that you didn't expect in 1997.
Surface level, you're half Dracula fighting your way through a castle. That's the surface level, and it goes much deeper than that. Much deeper.
Yeah, it's an RPG, right? This a lot of the
it
mechanics
is.
in here are
You've got
RPG
stats.
Mechanics.
You've got gear.
Leveling
You've got
up.
different weapons.
Yeah.
Leveling up, you're right.
I was shocked how many different mechanics there were actually in it. A pot roast, which I just love the idea that Alucard eats a pot roast if he that's of all the vegetables and stuff and all the other things he eats. A pot roast is what gives him health and he enjoys. And the money, granted, it took me a while to find the librarian to use it. And then, of course, again, something that felt kind of Souls-like to me is you went to the librarian and half the stuff he was selling to you, you had no reference to. There was a library card, there was an orb of somebody, and you think, oh, well, that's handy, but what's it for? There was a lot of times I was like, what? I got an orb of Zoe or something like that. I don't know who Zoe was, but I got one. But again, this maybe I just forget what PlayStation 1 era of games was, but this level of depth in the mechanics, I was actually genuinely shocked by, because I expected a platforming, shooty, one area to the next area to the next area, about big boss, rinse and repeat, right?
I think that's what most of the games in that era was. That's why games like these stand out.
Yeah, actually, I just remember this now. Strangely enough, this, like you said, this was actually a big change to the Castlevania makeup, right? Because it was
it just platform and
But I remember
attack.
The president or the marketing person at that time, he said one of the big changes is that he used to go to his local game stores and he found Castlevanias, the original ones, in the bargain bins at the Japanese stores. And he thought to himself, if it's making it to the bargain bins and staying there for longer than it's been on the shelves, then they need to change something. And that's why they added the RPG mechanics to it compared to the older ones. And the magic and the kind of like the more depth to it. Because they saw that people were kind of getting old of the old format, the 2D scroller, be it Gradius and all the other things.
So
that did the same thing.
So they moved with the industry.
Yeah, right. And it was actually, like I said, a big gamble, because initial sales were low until it got that cult following and started boosting up.
I see. So it moved with the industry in such a way that it kind of preceded where the industry was going. So once the audiences caught up, they saw, holy crap, but look at this game. We already have Symphony of the Night.
Isn't that crazy just to see like an actual physical mechanic instead of like statistics? It wasn't like, I'm sure he got numbers and he saw sales increase there and lower here, but it was him physically going to a store and kind of feeling sad that he saw the original games and stuff that he helped build in that bin. We've all seen the bargain bin in a gaming store. It's kind of a sad little mess of games that are forgotten or they couldn't shift. And it was that physical picture of that bargain bin that then spurred them to do this big change. And kind of make the one of the best Castlevania games that exists out there. I love that type of story.
Isn't it out of tragedy?
Yes, that's right.
From the ashes, that a phoenix rises, and we get things like Symphony of the Night, Expedition 33.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. These are the things which cement them in gaming history, right? It's things like that makes we've already debated before. It's an art form. It's a beautiful thing that art can just all come together and make this thing, and it all inherently comes from these nice little stories the industry, somewhere. Yeah.
In the industry, sometimes life imitates art.
Yes, of course, very much so.
I hate getting philosophical. Let's move.
Yeah, in gaming, right? Yeah, we're getting really deep. But the gameplay in this,
it must have been so engrossing playing this, in like, I don't know, 1998, 1999, when there was so little else like this, and it started coming around by word of mouth, and people started really finding the gold in this game.
No doubt.
How insane must it have felt to play this, and there was nothing else like it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like you're not too wrong with like Expedition 33. It's very, for me and yourself, I think. It's games like that, and Final Fantasy VII for myself.
Yes.
That kind of make you the gamer, right?
Yes.
It's those games where you go, wow, I absolutely loved everything about this game.
Yeah.
And
this
Castlevania must be that
love
for so
this
many
hobby.
people. Yes, right? It's just,
for me, currently that's Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, no, that's the fun thing about being a gamer, because we got this industry that's full of corporate knob ends and all this other things, but every once in a while we'll get Alan Wake, we'll get Expedition 33, we'll get just these games that just pull you back in and say, wow, I remember why I like gaming so much.
Yeah.
And like you said, to be in the era where this game was that to a bunch of people.
Yes,
this was the game that made them go,
50 years
whoa.
ago.
Right? Yeah. Isn't that just made me feel old now.
I'm sorry.
Whoa, I was like, wow, yeah, that was a long time ago, right? But yeah, I love that's the richness of gaming sometimes, those types of things. Yeah. And of course, this game, if you do complete it the first time, you get to play in Richter mode, where you get to play Richter that you've played the first 30 seconds of, you can play throughout the game, which is
in
fun.
Additional releases, you didn't even have to finish the game.
Oh, really? Just like a character
I think you just needed to call your save Richter.
Oh, yes, and this you have to do that too. Now, I don't know if you have to complete the game first, but yeah, you do have to call your character or your profile Richter. True, yes, that's the same.
Why do games not do that anymore?
Yeah, I know.
Why do games
why do games
there
were so many...
Okay. Sorry.
There was even an XCOM, right? If you used, in the original XCOM, I think it was the original XCOM, if you used the two producers' names, you just unlocked these two super powerful units. Because, you know, if you're going to be the producer of the game, you're going to make something. You're not going to put yourself in and not be like godlike by all accounts of
unless you're Hideo Kojima.
Valid. He does put
he put his face in the stars.
Did he really? In which game?
Okay. Did you see the memes?
No, I didn't. I must have.
There are some hot springs in Death Stranding 2.
Yes,
you must have encountered them.
That's right.
And you can actually stargaze with Dollman while you're in these hot springs. One of the constellations is just Hideo Kojima.
I did not know that. That is funny.
Yes, if you look at it and you and you don't look away, the constellation kind of materializes in Kojima's face.
Oh, that's funny, because I did one and it was Lou, the baby, so I was like, oh, okay. I just presumed they'd all be something to do with Sam. That's funny. I love that. I need to go to more of the hot springs in that game now. Damn it. Anything else gameplay you want to
add? I'll speed run through them. This game was definitely groundbreaking. Since it pioneered the Metroidvania genre. Non-linear explanation, RPG mechanics, we went through all of this. Hidden secrets, weapons, relics, blah, blah, blah. We went through all of that.
It's a lot. There's a lot there.
Here we go.
Gameplay. Yeah.
It also has some fluid responsive controls.
True.
And that controls the fluid combat, I think, is what makes such a satisfying gameplay loop. Mm-hmm. You're constantly exploring new rooms, fighting new enemies, finding new weapons. And then you go into a new room, fighting new enemies, getting new weapons.
Each one helping, be it the boss fight or the attack pattern of that enemy, the things you have now helps you fight them. Yeah. No, it's really clever mechanics. It's really thought out.
Yes, I constantly try to applaud good gameplay loops, and this is one of the best, considering it's coming from 1997.
Well, this is like we're saying. This is a cornerstone of what a ton of people then did afterwards.
Absolutely,
by all accounts, it's what helped Hollow Knight and Ori and the Blind Forest. You know,
legendary.
If this didn't happen, those games wouldn't have happened. By all accounts,
can't even imagine.
This level. No, it is good stuff. It's definitely, gameplay wise, it's top notch gaming.
Yeah. That's it.
Anything performance wise you have a problem with?
I mean, no problems really. Just that this game's been well optimized, of course. Even with the amount of sprites in here, the amount of 2D work that's gone into this, it still performs well on original hardware.
Yes, agreed.
With very little technical compromise.
Yeah. I think it was pretty smooth and stuff myself.
I think the PS1 kind of was really stretching its hardware once games started going 3D. Yeah,
no doubt. I think you're right that Metal Gear Solid is probably one of the best ones. I do like Final Fantasy VII, but it's a bit blocky. But Metal Gear Solid really was good looking on the PlayStation 1 to some degree.
Yeah.
And you're right, that was stretching its benchmarks.
Yeah, it feels like PlayStation 2 hit a real stride with 3D.
I agree, yeah, no doubt. But, so this ran perfectly fine my side too. It's got the little laggy bits when you change scenes and areas sometimes, but none of it is bad enough to actually
I
downgrade
wouldn't
the
say
performance in any regard.
No, and it's lagging, of course, but it's actually those are actually loading screens.
Yes, exactly. No, that it's sadly it's what the game we always had. But it's, by all accounts, compared to other loading screens, is actually quite smooth. I was looking at Resident Evil the other day, and they used to do the just the door
like that slow
opening and closing and
slide.
Which is weird. Great the first few times you do it until it's the 50th, 60th time you're doing it, and you're like, okay, it's a door. Just open it already. Which they actually fixed later on because people were all moaning about the door animations being too long. Anything value for money then? What did you think?
I think this is easy. You have hours upon hours and hours worth of content in here.
Yeah,
multiple endings, secrets, unlockable characters.
Right.
There's so much value
and different endings.
Here.
It's got different endings depending if you've done all the stuff
endings.
By all accounts.
That you get so much bang for your buck with this game.
If
you vibe with the gameplay loop somewhat, or if you vibe with it a whole lot, you'll definitely get your money's worth for this game.
Yeah, agreed. This game's iconic. There is a refreshingly large amount to do in a 1997 game. It is still on one disc. That's still kind of crazy.
It's impressive.
If you're lucky enough to actually own one of the originals with the black label, and it's relatively minty, it's like $130 to own this game now because of its prestigious nature. And
that's some good money.
Everybody wants that game in their collection, right? And then on PlayStation Network... This was
one of the what's the word I'm looking for? Trendsetters, but this was laying the groundwork as one of the big influential games that would define not only a genre but to a large degree the entire gaming industry. Without the Metroidvania genre and its influences, Metroid and Castlevania, there would be loads of games we didn't have.
No, exactly right. I would buy this. Not even my type of game. I would buy this if I had the chance. By all accounts, it's not easy to get them out. But this is one of those games you do want in your collection because it's just such a defining game.
Yes.
You just want it there to say, "Oh, that's Castlevania," because
Yeah, not just Castlevania, but Symphony of the Night. It feels like a centerpiece.
Yes, it is. It's iconic, and again, you can buy it on PlayStation Network. They redid them. They redid them at one point for the PlayStation, PSP and PlayStation, and they actually fixed the voice acting or the lines or something in somewhere because fixed.
No, it doesn't need fixing.
But it is out there if you want to give it a try. The digital version's around $20, and I do believe that's for both of them, Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. So you kind of get $10 each. Isn't bad for some fairly decent games by all accounts. Okay, after all that, what did we score this bad boy then?
Our scores for Castlevania Symphony of the Night actually made their way into the sewers of Dracula's castle. And over the years of not being summoned, they turned into big bad skeletons in the sewers. Some of them blue, some of them green, one of them red, which means he's tougher than the rest. They were trudging around in the mud in the sewers for decades when all of a sudden they got attacked by Dracula's son. How dare he? How rude. But he managed to not kill one of them. It happened to be the yellow skeleton. And this yellow skeleton turned into the letter grade rating of B.
Wow, that was a story. That was a yarn you just told there by all accounts. B's good though. And let's face it, it's only a B because narratively it's not.
Yeah, I guess the narrative
you don't need a fully fleshed out, you are going to go hunt down Dracula and you're going to kill him again because you're his son and that's what you do.
If you want to find allegory throughout the narrative, you will find it. Like an English teacher kind of ranting why the curtains are blue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I bet you if you went in depth, you'd find all sorts of fun things like that.
Exactly.
To the story and
maybe most of it, the game designers didn't even intend.
Yeah, some people do read too much into things, but I think a lot of it is probably a lot smarter than we've told you. Anyway, I bet you there's a lot more there than we even noticed.
Oh
ourselves.
hell yeah! Some game essayist that tore this game apart and turned it into
I'm sure
one massive beautiful essay.
But B's great. B's the same score we gave
the
Oblivion remake, by all accounts, which is another great game by all accounts, another benchmark game by all accounts.
Yeah.
So yeah, B, I definitely play it. It's one of those iconic games. Even if you're young, go play it, because then you get to see the history of where all these things come from and stuff like that, which is always fun. And if you do get your hands on it, by all means, keep it safe. That could be it's worth a bit of money now. Could keep going up by all accounts. Mm-hmm. So keep your eyes out.
Yeah, thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, share, all those things. If you're on a podcast app, also, I don't know what app you're on. Subscribe, join, follow, whatever it says. Just tell a friend about the Critical Arcade podcast. It'd be great if we can get the same word of mouth as Symphony of the Night. Wouldn't that be no doubt.
Cool? That's right. Well, I'm sure they're listening. We know that that Kojima and all those people listen to this podcast, so I'm sure they're going to be talking about it too. So we'll get plenty of traction. Yeah.
So if they're listening, Dave, how would you tell them? What have we got lined up for next week?
Oh, next week's game. We hinted at this in the last one. I'm both excited and not excited to play it at the same time, because I have played it. I did rent it from Blockbuster Videos 28 years ago, or whatever date it came out. It's a PlayStation 1 classic to some degree, Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah.
Now I know when I rented this, I regretted renting it as a child. Now maybe it's bloomed into something greater and far better some of its parts by all accounts, but I just doubt it. But I do look forward to your thoughts on it by all accounts. It is iconic. I'll give you. It's not iconic for good reasons in my mind, but it is an iconic PlayStation era game.
I'm gonna disagree. The only things I've heard of Parappa the Rapper are good things.
No ways. Who are you talking to?
No one.
Sesame Street or something. Yeah, no one. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's great. Maybe my memory of it as a child is tainted because I wanted something more button mashy or something like that.
It could be it. Also, I've never played Parappa the Rapper, so I'm looking forward to this quite a lot.
When did Parappa the Rapper come out?
I think it was the year
alive,
before.
Right?
I was alive, yes.
Okay, I was just saying, but there was probably a good reason you never played it. You were probably just forming words.
Maybe.
But it's going to be a good time. I actually look forward to playing it again to some degree. So I look forward to reviewing it.
Hell yeah. Wait a minute. We never discussed where everyone can follow you, Dave.
We didn't, and I'm still trying to formulate a story. Well, you can find me out and about, but if you do try to follow me, I do actually, when Alucard was finished with Dracula, he just left the castle just laying around doing nothing, so now I own this omnipotent, teleporting kind of castle with gargoyles and dragons and skeletons and stuff in it. So if you were to come around me, I will make you the caretaker. And I don't mean in any cool way. You think monsters and stuff feed themselves? You think they crap in the toilet? No. So you're going to be the general maintenance janitor guy who's just cleaning up after all sorts of monstrosities. If that's your thing,
that did sound cool for a second, but then you said
dragon
no.
crap.
No, you've got responsibilities.
Like Medusa head. They need lots of moisturizer. They need mirrors, it's a whole thing. So yeah, if you want to do that, by all means, follow me.
I don't. You don't want to do that either. Rather listen to next week's episode, Parappa the Rapper, and we'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.